Hello everyone, my name is Smit Patel and my speech today is on increasing the strictness of concussion protocols in high school sports. Picture this, it's a Friday night at a high school football game. A player takes a big hit, stumbles, but he waves off the coach to stay in the game. I saw this too often as I used to be on the football sports medicine team for my high school. And teammates often ignored concussion protocols because they wanted to stay in the game. The love for the game overrided their safety. And there was nothing we could do with the weak protocols. So one night, a teammate collapsed after a hit. Dazed, disoriented, he was barely able to stand. Yet, he was back at practice days later because of the weak concussion protocols. That moment still haunts me. We need to keep our players safe. My poll shows that half of you either play sports or know an athlete, so concussions could hit close to home. Even if you don't play a sport, you care about your friend's safety. I'm here to convince you that North Carolina school districts should need to mandate stricter concussion protocols to protect athletes, create a safer sports environment, and build a culture of safety. My time on the sports med team showed me how dangerous these weak policies we have are. First, I'll explain how weak protocols put our athletes at risk pretty much every day. Second, I'll propose a stricter solution to solve this problem. Finally, I'll show you how these changes benefit our athletes and the community as a whole. So, let's start with the risks. Why are weak concussion protocols a big problem? Well, weak concussion protocols endanger the high school athletes. Concussions are a serious issue in high school sports. They're so common. According to Thay and Mueller, over 300,000 sports-related concussions happen every year in the U.S., with football, soccer, and lacrosse being the riskiest. And I used to be on the sports med team for my football, and I would see it so often, way too often, and we really need to prevent that. A poll from my classmate, Selena, a former lacrosse player, stated that concussions are often seen as common but serious. Yet, too many athletes play through them because oversight is lax. In fact, according to Luke Gesell, only 47.3% of high school football players report their concussions. Only 47%. They do this because they often fear being benched. Their love for the game is too strong. But we really need to stop at this. Concussions are too serious. And based on reports from Nationwide Children's, repeated concussions can lead to second impact syndrome, a potentially fatal condition, or post-concussion syndrome, causing headaches and memory issues. Now think about North Carolina. While we don't have the specific data, other states, like Texas, show what happens with weak protocols. According to Brandon George, their athletes could return to play the same day if symptoms cleared in 15 minutes. Do you know how crazy that is? The same day. A practice way behind national guidelines. North Carolina has similar gaps. I saw it myself when I was on the sportsman football team. Teammates returning too soon, risking their lives. There needs to be someone there to stop this. We need to take concussion seriously. My poll shows that most of you don't even know our state's protocols. The lack of awareness proves it needs to be changed and stricter. So we've seen the problem. Now let's talk about a solution. Stricter concussion protocols protect athletes. Here's my proposal. North Carolina school districts should mandate comprehensive concussion protocols. First, any athlete suspected of a concussion must be removed from play immediately. No questions asked, as national experts recommend. Second, they need neuropsychological testing and cleared from a professional trained athletic trainer before returning to play, just like the NFL and NHL do. So, This is a visual aid picture of a high school student athlete being evaluated for a concussion on the field. So my plan is totally doable. Schools can train coaches and staff using the CDC's free Heads Up program, which only takes a day to teach how to spot concussions. North Carolina can fund medical evaluations through existing athletic budgets, like other states have done. According to Brandon George, in Texas, for example, 53% of public schools lack full-time athletic trainers. 53% don't have a professional on site taking care of these athletes. We can do better by hiring more. My poll shows you support coach training and longer sit-out times, so this policy fits what you already believe. It's practical, effective, and puts the athlete's safety first, which is always important. So, what happens if we adapt this policy, or if we don't? A safer future versus continued risk. If we act, our athletes thrive. Stricter protocols mean fewer risk of second impact syndrome, so players like Selena can play safely. Long term, we reduce chronic issues like post-concussion syndrome, helping athletes live healthier lives. Brandon George stated that studies show early intervention works, but if we do nothing, the risk continues to grow. Weak protocols obviously lead to more injuries, as we've seen, like my teammate's collapse, which could have ended in a tragedy. Second impact syndrome can kill. And according to Brandon George, schools face lawsuits and loss of trust, as seen in states with weak policies like Texas before its reforms. This affects everyone. If you're an athlete, you'll be safer. If you're not, you'll protect the friends and classmates you love. A culture of safety strengthens our schools and sports programs, like it did in Texas after they tightened their rules. Imagine a future where no athlete has to risk their health just to play the game they love. Here's how you can make this future real. Let's recap what we just went over. Weak concussion protocols put high school athletes at risk for serious, even fatal injuries. Stricter protocols like immediate removal from the sport and medical evaluations solve this problem. It needs to be taken more seriously. Adopting them ensures safer sports and healthier athletes. North Carolina school districts must mandate these changes to protect athletes, create safer sport environments, and promote a culture of safety, as I learned on the sports med team. Don't let another athlete collapse like my teammate did. Sign the petition at your school's website to push our district for stricter concussion protocols. Your signature can save lives. Let's make high school sports safe together. Thank you.